welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a teacher tag that the Chronicles of Teacher Tay created, and it's all about my first year experience. And his video actually had his first year experience plus 5 tips for new teachers. So I think I'm just going to separate the 2 videos to make 2 videos to post. By no means am I saying I'm a veteran teacher and I am just giving my advice. No, because I am still learning things every day. I'm making mistakes every day, and sometimes I'm just trying to survive day by day. So I just wanted to put that out there. Every first year teacher experience is definitely going to be different, but at the end of the day, just know that you're awesome, and first year of teaching is no joke. I will tell you that. So it's Thanksgiving break for our district, so we have a whole week off. So I'm just going to be in cozy clothes all week. I'm wearing my new Star Wars shirts because it is so cozy and soft, and I have my coffee right here. So his tag just had a list of questions, so I think I'm just going to tell the question and then answer it. Check out Chronicles of Teacher Tay if you haven't. His energy is so contagious and he's really fun to watch, so definitely go check him out. Let's check out all of the questions. So his first question is, how did you get your first job? I feel I need to zoom back all the way to when I was first placed in my district for student teaching. So for our credential program, when you start to get ready for student teaching, our person or our coordinator says, okay, well, you can't really choose the district you want to go to because it's kind of just where we need to place you, so don't expect that you're going to get what you want. So for my whole credentialing program, which was in Long Beach, all of my observation hours, all of my service hours, all of my observing, everything teaching related was all in Long Beach. So Long Beach Unified School District. Even though it's a great district, all of my experience has been in that one district. And when I was thinking about it, I had to think of, okay, well, usually in student teaching, you start to build those connections, and a lot of student teachers end up working in that same district. Not all, but usually that's kind of what happens, and because student teaching is the best way to get your foot in the door. So I asked my coordinator. It was a long shot. I was thinking to myself, okay, the worst he can say is no. So I just thought I'd ask. So I said, hey, is there any way for me to get placed in a district close to my city or close to where I live? And I didn't really specify a district. I just said anywhere closer to where I live. And he said, okay, he'll do his best. So when I got placed in my student teaching, it was placed in the district that I'm working at today, which was super close. It's like 10 minutes away from my house. Super awesome and a great district to work for, so I was like, yay! So I student taught in 3rd grade, and you have to do 2 grade levels for your student teaching, and they need to at least, I think they have to be at least like 2 years apart. So if you have to do like 1 primary and 1 upper grade. So I student taught 3rd grade, and then I student taught 5th grade, and my master teacher was pregnant at the time, so she asked me to be her long-term sub when she went on maternity leave. So everything was falling into place so nicely. So I student taught. After I got all my paperwork in, I was able to long-term sub until kind of pretty much the rest of the year. And at the end of the year, the principal said, so we have 2 open positions. Would you like to interview for them? And I said, yes, of course, like 100%. I was already shocked that I would be considered for an interview because I was just fresh out of student teaching. So I interviewed with the district, and then I interviewed at the school, the same school that I student taught at and long-termed at, and I was able to get a 3rd grade position for the next year, which was my first year of teaching. So that's pretty much the story of how I got my job. I was really blessed to be able to student teach and long-term and then go straight into my first year of teaching. So I'm really grateful for that, and grateful to the staff and admin that believed in me and gave me a chance. So here I am. But I'm teaching 6th grade this year, which is definitely a jump from 3rd, and sometimes it definitely feels like my first year of teaching all over again. It has definitely been a roller coaster ride, but I am still so thankful and blessed to be where I am today. Okay, so let's move on to the second question. So the second question is, what was one of your proudest moments from your first year? I actually had to think about this question a lot because I don't know if it's just me or just teachers in general. We tend to focus on what we can do better. Oh, I messed up here. What can I do? So I didn't really think of things to be proud for. So I really had to think about this question. So what I was proud of was creating engaging lessons for my class. And my 3rd grade class, I am never gonna forget them. They were so sweet. They were seriously one of the greatest group of kids I've ever interacted with, and every day was so much fun. That 3rd grade class was very special to me, especially because it was my first year. One of the proudest moments was we've been learning about compare and contrasting all year, and in the ELA curriculum, compare and contrast comes in all the time. As a class, we were reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the first Harry Potter book, and when we finished, I thought it would be an awesome way for them to watch the movie and compare and contrast it with the book. So this was kind of towards the end of the year. It was a nice break after their testing, especially because that was the first year they did their SBAC or state testing. So we compare and contrasted the movie, and they were catching things that I didn't even notice. And I am a super huge Harry Potter fan, and I've read the books, I've watched the movies multiple times. They were noticing differences and similarities that I've never even thought of, and it was so awesome to see them remember the text, remember the movie, and just being able to piece things together, and I was really impressed by that. We also sorted everyone into their Hogwarts houses. So we did, like, I think if you search free sorting hat quiz online, they have a free version that's really pretty simple to the point, because I think if you go to Pottermore, they have to be 13 and up. And we sorted everyone in their houses, and we arranged the seating in the classroom to kind of show the different houses, and they took so much pride in being in their Hogwarts houses. And you can kind of tell the Gryffindors, Hufflepuffs, Ravenclaws, and Slytherins. You're kind of looking like, oh yeah, I can see you're definitely a Hufflepuff, or you're definitely a Ravenclaw, so I can definitely see that. For me, I'm a Slitherpuff, a Slytherin, and a Hufflepuff. I don't know if there's any Slytherin Hufflepuffs out there, but I can relate. So we separated into houses. So instead of table points, we would do house points, and it was just so much fun. The kids were totally into it, super engaged. And the last 2 weeks of school, I think it was the last week of school, we made wands. So I just got these little, I don't know what they're called. It's just like the little wooden stick. All you do is get a hot glue gun and get the edge of the wood and just start putting as much glue as possible. And when it dries, it becomes a good placeholder, and all they do is just paint, and they had a great time. Hopefully that activity was something that they can remember for a long time. It was so much fun to share Harry Potter with them, and some of my previous students come up to me and say, Miss Chung, I'm on the 5th book now. And I'm like, what? The 5th book? Those books are pretty massive. If you find genres and topics that your students are interested in, they will make sure to read it. So my 3rd grade class, they were definitely an awesome group of kids, and I seriously, I miss them every day. Like when I go to school and I see them, I'm like, I miss you. Here we go, next question. The 3rd question is, what were some of your difficult moments as a first-year teacher? And looking back, I don't think teaching the content was difficult for me, because my students and I had a lot of the same interests, like Harry Potter, Minecraft, Pokemon. It wasn't hard for me to make engaging lessons or just to spin things to get the students engaged. I think the most difficult thing was the judgment that you get as a young or first-year teacher. It used to bother me in my first year, but in my 2nd year, I'm just like, okay, did you want me to stay at home and just wait years and years and years until I grow older and then become a first-year teacher, or then start teaching? When someone hears that you're a first-year teacher, all of a sudden their mindset kind of changes. So for example, if I had a sub for my class, and when we're interacting, they're being very formal, really kind, really respectful, and they ask that question, how long have you been teaching? And I mentioned, oh, it was my first year, and all of a sudden their demeanor changes. I had to understand that not everyone is going to realize that it takes years of education, hours of working in classrooms, and hours of teaching students before you can even become a first-year teacher. And that's okay, because if you're a first-year teacher, please note all of the accomplishments and hard work that you did to get here. So as a new teacher, regardless of how old you are, you have all of those new strategies, new tools, new methods, and you have that energy, and you're fresh and ready to teach. That already makes you a great candidate for any school. So don't downplay your accomplishments. Just know you worked so hard to get here, and no one can tell you that you're not ready or that you're too young, because you're not. If anyone mentions that you look really young or how young you are, just take it as a compliment. But I feel my team, my principal, the staff for my first year was super awesome, super helpful, and they really helped my year just kind of zoom by with no issues pretty much. I think overall it was a great experience for me. Even though you get those judgments from just like a few people, you have so many other people that support you and want you to do your best. So definitely focus on that. So the last question is, where do you stand today with teaching? So this year I'm teaching 6th in the same school, which is a K through 6 school. So I still see my 3rd graders who are now 4th graders during recess, and it's so awesome. My students this year, they are amazing. They are just a great group of kids, and I feel really lucky to have them in my class, and I feel really lucky to be their teacher. I'm also almost done with my induction program, which is the new teacher program that all teachers have to do within 5 years of getting their preliminary credential. So let's say you get your preliminary credential after student teaching and you graduate, then you have 5 years to clear it, and the induction program takes 2 years. It's required for all teachers, and I'm almost done with it, so thank goodness. It's my 2nd year of induction, so I just need to finish that up and then I can clear my credential and then I'm good. No other assignments. So overall, I feel that every day is a brand new adventure, especially in 6th grade. They're a lot older and a lot more independent, so you can joke around with them a lot more and you can do a lot more activities. I appreciate them so much. If I'm being honest, some days I go home really happy and really pumped for the next day, and some days I go home feeling defeated and really overwhelmed. So teaching is definitely a roller coaster ride and one of the toughest jobs out there. But I'm so thankful for my teacher mentors, my teacher friends, and my amazing students that inspire me to get up and go to work every day. Alright, so those were 4 of the questions answered. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. And I will film my 5 tips for new teachers in another video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!